Hello. This is where the fun begins.
Hey there guys, Unofficial Star Wars here, hope you're all doing well. In this video we're going to be talking about a little bit about the behind the scenes with Andor the show as a producer debunks the Mandalorian's volume controversy. So we're going to go ahead and hop right on into this, taking a read from the Direct's article. I'm going to have their full article linked down in the description down below for you guys to check out as well. As it reads, the first 3 episodes of Star Wars Andor are now available to view on public on Disney+. I also have our breakdown videos here on the channel as well, so check those out as well. This is going to be a prequel to the Rogue One movie, set 5 years before those events. This also comes as one of the most unique Star Wars entries in some time, as the complete filming without the use of the volume technology, which The Mandalorian made popular. Other Star Wars shows, such as The Mandalorian, The Book of Boba Fett, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, have all used stagecraft and the volume. This tech was used heavily throughout both seasons of The Mandalorian, allowing the actors to come into a massive set with a near 360-degree screen that let them feel the full environment for which they were shooting. The volume was later used for Marvel Studios on Thor: Love and Thunder, but even though it has its advantages, it caused some controversy amongst fans due to the environments not looking as realistic in the final cut. Only a few weeks ago, Andor creator and producer Tony Gilroy revealed that the fact that his series didn't use the volume for any shooting, causing some online controversy due to the fact that the show deviated from what had worked so well in recent past for Lucasfilm. Now, Tony Gilroy has cleared the air on the matter, explaining why he decided to go old school and not shoot with real-world locations for Andor. Andor producer discusses the volume, and over that, Star Wars Andor producer and creator Tony Gilroy spoke with The Hollywood Reporter about the reports regarding his use of real sets for the show rather than the volume technology. Tony Gilroy admitted that there weren't any issues with working with the volume along with real sets, rather than explaining how production for the series as a whole came together. This included bringing in numerous crew members that weren't the traditional Star Wars people, although Gilroy saw the genius in them early in the process. In the full quote, he says, "It wasn't really an issue. When I came on, Sonny Wahlberg, sorry if I mispronounced that, was the producer of record. She came with the existing pieces of the show, so Sonny was there, but I didn't know her. She had just done Sharon Noble, and it was sort of a shotgun marriage, so here we are together, and I had no idea that she was going to be this rock star producer. And so, the first decision you have to make is who's going to be your production designer. Even in writing, my first call to this production designer, because everything was to have to be designed. So we put a marker down. It was kind of the test for Disney. How serious are you? We didn't want to go with any of the traditional Star Wars people. We wanted production designer Luke Hull, who was like 12 years old and had just done Chernobyl. He's just a freaking genius, but non-Star Wars in every way, so we brought him over as I was doing the Sirius Bible. I wrote the first 3 episodes of sort of a test," ending the quote right there. So it's kind of regarding on how Tony Gilroy kind of purposely brought these people that don't completely know Star Wars or are into it, much as many of the other cast and crew members that have worked on the overall Andor show here as well, and how he did this purposely, and because to what new ideas that they would bring to the table. This kind of reminds me of something that they did with the Obi-Wan Kenobi show at the same time as well, with having some cast and crew members that have never really been too into Star Wars or really had worked on it before, and brought those people in to get new fresh ideas and concepts and ideas when it comes to working on these shows. And for Tony Gilroy, as the article continues to say, he would have rather looked to combine shooting on location with using the volume, although it's impossible to do both at the same time in this day and age. This is largely due to the fact that everything has to be done already to shoot with the volume before adding the actors to film the footage needed. And quote, "In a perfect world, you'd be able to shoot the location and shoot old school, and then that we'd use the volume when we wanted to use it. There are times when the volume would be really good for us, but the technology doesn't exist to do both. You have to make a choice at this point because of the workflow on the volume. All your post-production has to be done done beforehand. You have to shoot all of your plates. Everything has to be done. When you go to the volume, everything's done. You're just adding the actors, ending the quote right there. Gilroy had also shared that everything is shot with the actors and built out from there if necessary, making it clear that there isn't any controversy with his choice to not use the volume. He would have loved to use the chance if it was possible, although it would have been in concert with shooting on location. In that full quote he says, "Our system is completely different. You shoot everything with the actors and you build out from there if you need to build out. And those two systems, maybe there's somebody who's doing it, but economically you can't do both. So automatically we're just like, we have to be a build show." It wasn't a controversy really. I saw it get turned into a controversy the other day, but it's not all like that. There are times where you'd love to use it. It does some great things, ending the quote right there. The volume has certainly opened up new doors in terms of shooting new Star Wars content and inspiring the future of film and the film industry and media, television as well, especially with The Mandalorian exploring corners of the galaxy far, far away that hadn't been touched before. But while it has its advantages, it still doesn't encompass everything a production team would have to shoot as well as possible. And so, as the article states, at the end of the day, Gilroy made it clear that he wasn't avoiding using the volume while shooting Andor because he didn't like it or hated it or anything like that. Rather, the team wanted to do as much as they could practically while filling in where he could have used new tech. But as the shooting continued, the Andor team wound up using only real-world shooting to bring this new 12-episode entry to life due to the volume's additional requirements and processes you have to go through with that. Should the producer get a chance to use the volume for Andor's upcoming second season, it would be shocking to see him not take the opportunity to try out that method with the new worlds to explore. From there's where the article ends. As I had mentioned at the beginning of this video, I have this full article linked down in the description down below. What's the point of this entire article, I guess, so to speak, is maybe the question that you're kind of left with. It's simply to give us some insights here about the process and filmmaking of the Andor show, also talking about some recent news of controversy surrounding around stagecraft and the volume technology that, as I had mentioned, every other live-action Star Wars show has previously used before, simply because, as it was rumored around, is that Tony Gilroy hated it. He didn't want to use it whatsoever, and that he'd rather stick to the old-school routes, when in reality, he clears the air by saying that, yes, I think it's really cool, actually, and that I would love to use it. I actually tried to use it for the Andor show, but it just wasn't going to necessarily work. All that being said, I want to know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about the overall filming and behind-the-scenes production process when it comes to the Andor show, using live on-location sets and natural old-school type of processes when it comes to that, and also with storytelling concepts there as well? What do you guys think about the Andor show so far when it comes to that there as well? I'd love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. Leave a like to the video if you did enjoy it, as it really does help the channel, and check out Instagram unofficial Star Wars for more Star Wars content linked down in the description down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. This has been Unofficial Star Wars. Have a great one, guys. Peace out.